Well, all right now, how's it going, YouTube? We're gonna do another little box opening today. These videos, they are what they are. They haven't been too popular in the past, but this one will probably get 2-3 million views, I would imagine. All right now, also I have my hat on because I need a haircut, and I haven't wanted to take the time to run upstairs and cut my hair yet, but I'm gonna get around to it as soon as possible, around to it. So I just wanted to make a little note there, not that you care. Last video I was looking up like this because I was trying to let the light in under my hat. So if you notice me looking up like that, it's because I was trying to get the light out of my face and get out of the shadows. Anyways, I'm rambling on, so go ahead and subscribe to the channel while I'm rambling on, and we'll get that out of the way. I'm sure you like to hear people ramble. I'm a pretty, I get out there sometimes. You never know what I'm going to be doing. So now a lot of you guys might know what this is. You can try to guess. This is a firewood tool. So what do you think is in this box? It's nothing you haven't seen before, but this is, you know, maybe you haven't seen this particular brand before. I'm just going to do an unboxing here, see how it goes, see what it looks like, see what's going on, and so you might want to go ahead down to the comments right now before I spoil the surprise and write what you think it is, and then let me know if you're right when I'm done with the video here. So anyways, this is made by Vivor, and I kind of got one that I split the ground in the middle there with something that wasn't the cheapest thing, but I looked at some more expensive models now, and they ran up to like 160 bucks or something. Wood Miser makes some of these also, and I was gonna get the Wood Miser one, but for I don't know, they're like $149 or something for this, and this Vivor one, it says it's pretty similar. It should get the job done. I'm going to give away what it is if I keep talking about it. So let me open it and then I'll talk more about some of the features here. Now, if I can figure out where this thing, they got it all taped up. I don't think I'm going to be returning this thing. All right, so here we are. It's a can hook, everybody. Can you believe it? That's going to be awesome now. Okay, so now I can talk about it a little bit more. And I do have to assemble it, so this video is going to be plenty long out of just one ridiculous topic here. It comes with instructions. It's called a log jack, but I call it a can hook now. So it comes with a screw. Anyways, like I was saying, I got to put this thing together. We'll do that live, so to speak, on this little video here in real time. I'll just put it together here while I talk to you guys about it, or not. And I assume that goes on here. That's going to be difficult. I might have to put some soap or something on that. That's pretty tight right there now. Needs a little lube. Okay, so this is supposed to be able to do a log that's up to 32 inches. And I think it probably would go bigger. I mean, it's kind of like a log splitter, I think. If it says it can do logs up to 8 or 10 inches, my little electric Harbor Freight one, it says like logs up to 10 inches, or I don't know what it is, to be honest. But I put great big old things on there, you know, big 15-inch, 20-inch rounds on there sometimes, and it splits them. So if you can get a hook in something, it'll probably turn it, you know, and especially if there's a knot sticking off the side of the log that you can kind of grab onto, and it's a little irregularity or something, you can probably do bigger. So for the money that this thing costs, it was like $45, and I might put a link in the description. We'll have to see, but I just went ahead with this one now, and I think it's a 48-inch handle on this one, and yeah, it's a 48-inch handle now, and that Wood Miser one, I think it was a 60-inch or something, but the more I think about it, a 40-inch might be good, because I got so much stuff in my pickup truck for firewood. It's just getting, I throw all this stuff in my back seat on the floor. I put chainsaws in there. I got a pickaroon. I have an axe. I have extra oil. I got extra chains. I got sharpening stuff. I have a Dremel tool. And that's just that's the way it goes when you got a work truck now. You know, I mean, if you use it, I mean, you might as well have a whole toolbox of stuff in there. And really, I should carry more. I should carry a toolbox. I mean, in case something goes wrong with the log splitter, Like I said, I had that little leak in my hydraulic hose the other day, had to come home. All I needed was an adjustable wrench and I could have been fine. So, I mean, if you had a toolbox and everything, it would be great. So it's just filling up with stuff, and that's what I'm saying. If I would have got the 60-inch wood miser, it is a lot longer. It'll go all the way across the whole back seat. And I think this 48-inch handle will be pretty good. That'll give you some pretty good leverage on the log to turn it. And now it's pretty heavy there. It's made out of steel, so let me see if I can't open this thing without scratching it all up with the razor blade. I just got a razor blade here to work on this today. I didn't bring a pocket knife, but a razor blade is good to open things with now. Alrighty, so it should be pretty easy to put together. And hopefully I don't do it backwards, because I haven't used this thing yet, but I think it goes right like this. And put a bolt in it. Doesn't even have a washer with it. You just put this right on here. If I can get it, there we go. She's done. Now we'll tighten that up and we are done. We got it done here. I do need a pair of pliers or something, so I'll go get that here shortly and get some pliers and tighten this thing. But there we go. Now I got to get some type of lube and put on this thing probably, because it's really tight. And so I got me a can hook, guys and girls. I've been working. Yeah, I'm gonna have to have something to help. I'm gonna have to heat that up or something, or put something on it now. But I've been working on so much big timber, and it's down in the mud. So these logs, when they hit the ground and they just sit there, they always kind of sink down in there a little bit. And when you even go to turn a smaller log, 12 to 15 inches or so, it's hard to get a hand on it sometimes and roll it up out of that little trough that it makes down in the mud. So I figured I'd buy a can hook for the heck of it, $45, and it's another tool for the trade. It'll help me out. When I need it, it'll come in real big handy. So when you need it, it'll be great to have. I won't use it all the time, but I'm sure I will use it some of the time. Let me go get a wrench and tighten this up and see if I can get the handle on this thing. But that's pretty much it. That's going to be the video. It's probably already been going about 8 minutes now. So I'll tighten this up, and I may show you an after when I'm done, and that'll be about it. So let me get a wrench and just tighten this up. You really don't need to see that. It's just it's one bolt I got to tighten on this, and it'll be good to go. And I got to try to figure out how to put the handle on. Okay, now I'm just going to do this in order. I have a heat gun right here in the basement right next to me, so I'm going to try to heat this handle up, and I'll just do it live on the video. Now, I did try to read the instructions and see what they said about installing this rubber sleeve, and there is literally nothing on here. I mean, just a bunch of, don't exceed the rated load capacity. Do not stand under or near while is suspended. Before using jack, be sure bolts are fastened and tightened. It's just, there's nothing really. Use safety goggles, that type of thing. And that is one thing I can tell you, though, while we're talking about this. Even from my old job, I used to work with metal and stuff. If you're pulling on a pole like this with a bunch of pressure on it, and you're standing like this, you need to get the heck away from that, because if it slips off, of whatever you're working on, it's coming right down on your head. And this thing is actually pretty heavy. I mean, that's a steel. The whole thing is made out of steel. It's pretty heavy duty stuff too. It's not like some chintzy little aluminum. That's a heavy steel rod. So that's one little tip. When you're prying on something, don't stand right here and get it over your head and like get your foot up on it and start prying on it, because if that thing slips off, it's popping you right in the face, and that's a lot more force than you would imagine. So anyways, before I start heating this thing, I wanted to show you this. Now, I'm going to kind of make I'm going to look a little bit silly, but after you see what I'm saying here, you'll agree with me. This has the manufacturer information, which is Vevor, but the manufacturer location is Shanghaimuxinmuyeyouxiangongsi. So I'm not going to try to say that again. Shanghaimuxinmuyeyouxiangongsi. That is one word now, so if you can say that word, I don't know, I would say put it in the comments. But see that top line there? That's where it's manufactured. That whole manufacturer, whatever that says. I thought that was pretty funny now. That's who you need to contact if you have any problems with this thing. Okay? All right. Let's see if a little heat will get this thing loosened up to where I can slide it on there. And then I can try to put some soap or maybe even some water would work. But I think some heat will get it nice. I think a little bit of heat will get this thing on here. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm also kind of wondering if you put like some dish soap on it or something, what happens to it after it slides on? Does it just kind of dry and harden on there? And I guess it'll dry inside there. I mean, people do that kind of stuff all the time now, so I guess it is possible to use dish soap or something. They don't tell you what to put on this thing. They just send it to you and say, don't put on some safety goggles, have a good, knock yourself out, have a good time there now. So this is kind of a little bit boring. I might speed it up a little bit. I do have it a little more pliable. Let's see how that does. It's getting going a little bit there. Let's see what we got. Oh yeah. Oh baby. There we go. All right. I got that on. It's not on all the way though. Well, I'm not happy with that. There's about a ½ inch that it just didn't slide on all the way, and I don't want that thing sticking up like that. It'll break. You put a bunch of pressure on that plastic and it'll end up breaking it off. Let's see if I can't get her down a little more. Oh, great, it's not moving. Oh, that's just great. Well, I've really got a situation going now. All right, I'm gonna play with this thing a little bit more, and then I'll go get the wrench and tighten this bolt, and we'll wrap this video up. I'll let you know how this is gonna take me a minute to get seated. I'm not real happy with that. It didn't go on all the way. Give me a minute here. All right, now I got me a little wrench and a channel lock, whatever the hell that thing's called, and I'm gonna tighten this thing up. Now, one of the reasons I'm doing this video inside is because we got a big winter storm, and there was 8 inches of snow with ice inside of it, and it's melting all off. I haven't been able to do a lot outside, so I'm doing whatever I can to make some videos, keep some firewood content coming. Anyways, we'll be back out there shortly, and if you want to see like a review of this product, just watch the upcoming videos, and I'm sure in some of the videos that you will see coming up very shortly, I'm going to use this thing because, as soon as I get out there again, I'll want to use this thing just for fun, just to see how it does and kind of play with it a little bit. All right, so that's pretty much all we got to do here. Just get this thing snugged up, and so it can still move, but not too tight there. That's not going to go anywhere. We'll be good with that. All right, now, I did get this thing on here. I just kind of had to heat it up real good and just push on it really hard, and it slid right down into place. I heated it up with heat, and I put like a rag over the top of it with my hand, and I just pushed down, and it slid right into place. So I got that thing nice and firm, and there we go. There's our V-Vor cant hook. Excuse me. And hopefully that'll do all right. I mean, it's got a little point on it. I haven't seen a lot of these to know what the difference is in them all, but it's got a nice little point on it. I mean, it's not like razor sharp, but it's got a little point, and I'll just dig that in there, and hopefully it should work fine. I'm sure it will, but that's going to help me move some logs around. Now, I didn't get the log jack those timber jacks where you can hook the log and then roll it up on the timber jack and get it up off the ground. I decided not to get one of those because so many of the logs that I'm using are just way too big for that. I mean, those things, I think the log needs to be below, you know, probably 12 inches or so, and then it just gets too big. I mean, you're not going to take a 25 or even probably a 22 to 25 inch round and roll that up on a timber jack and have it. And so much of the wood I'm cutting is just so big that it's just not probably going to be worth it to get a timber jack. I mean, it'd be like a 1 out of 50 of them would be small. You know, very few of them, whatever it would be. 1 out of 20 would probably be small enough to use that little timber jack. Now, I do like getting them up out of the mud. That's the thing. If you saw my video, you can laugh if you want to about using a car jack to jack things up off the mud, but it's the same thing. Like a lot of these old timers, a lot of you guys, not even that you're all old timers, excuse me, but a lot of you guys that have tractors and whatever, you just use a tractor with a grapple and pick your wood up and buck it up off the ground. You want to get it off the ground, right? So that's the same thing with using a jack. The thing with that jack idea of mine is it has to be kind of the perfect situation. The tree's kind of got to have a bend to it or be up off the ground on one side and have a long taper to it to where it's dug down in the mud and it's under pressure on the other end. Or like it has if it's a banana log and it's arched up and the 2 points of it are sitting in the mud, you got to be able to slide the jack underneath it is what I'm getting at. If it's just laying flat on the ground in the mud, you can't really get a floor jack underneath it. But there is certain situations where that does come in handy. So it's not a total joke. It's a good idea, but it has to be the right situation. And I think you guys understand what I'm saying there. You got to be able to get the floor jack under it. If you can, it's a great little idea to get the tension off the wood, get it up off the ground, get your saw out of the mud. Now with this thing, I'm just going to use it to turn logs over. Because they are down in the mud, like I said. So just you know, when you make a cut down through it and you're within a centimeter of getting it to break off and stuff, this will be nice to just be able to turn that log over and finish your cuts off. And when you need to just move them around and things, you know how it is. So I've been kind of rambling on a lot. I gave a lot of information about this. And again, stay tuned to the channel in the upcoming videos. We'll get this out there and use it and give more of a review on it. This isn't really a review, this is an unboxing, and if I put it in the title that it's a can hook, then everybody will know what it is. So I'm just going to put like unboxing probably in the title of this, and then as we go out and use it and give a review, I'll put Vevor can hook in the title of the video and you can see it in action. We'll see how it does. So come on back now and check it out next time. We'll see you guys later.